CARICOM 2019 has started. Agriculture Minister highlights his trip to Rome. And Shiver Me Timbers, the pirate ship is coming. Hooray for the red, white, and blue. It's the 4th of July. We say Happy Independence Day to our neighbors in the North who celebrate 243 years of American independence today. Congratulations to them. I'm LaDon Davis. Welcome to the Morning Edition. Make sure to watch out for our major image clues of iconic scenes, monuments, and places each day to win a weekend at Comfort Suites on fabulous Paradise Island. Today we welcome Bank of the Bahamas as our sponsor for the Morning Edition Weather Report. So for the first time, I will say our weatherman Basil Dean is standing by with the Bank of the Bahamas Weather Report. Good morning, Basil.
Good morning, LaDon, and as you just rightly said, our weather this morning is brought to you by Bank of the Bahamas, the Bank of Solutions. And we're going to get you started as we can go to our satellite picture. You can see we still have that troughing across the central Bahamas that will be working its way very slowly back towards the northwest Bahamas, and that could trigger 1 or 2 showers during the course of today. But outside of our studios, we have partly cloudy skies, temperature 82 degrees, the relative humidity 78%, winds out of the east at 5 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,015.0 millibars, that's 29.97 inches, and it is steady. Temperatures around the islands this morning, Marsh Harbor at 80, Greentoll Key 80, 80 also in Freeport, Grand Bahama, the Berry Islands 82, 83 in Alistown, Bimini, 82 in Harbour Island, Roxanne, Eleuthera, Otterstown, Cat Island, 81, 79 in Staniel Key, Kemp Space, St. Andrews at 79, 80 degrees in Fresh Creek, that's Central Andros. San Salvador, 81, Rum Key, 81 as well. We're picking up 82 in Georgetown, Exuma, Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, Crooked Island, 80 degrees. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 81, 81 in Acklands, Matthewtown, Inagua, 81, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 82 degrees. Your boating forecasts are for today in the northwest and central islands. The winds will be southeast at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. High tide 8:40 in the morning, low tide at 2:45 in the afternoon. And for the southeast Bahamas, southeast winds increasing 12 to 18 knots, wave heights building 3 to 6 feet. As a result, caution flags are up for boaters in the southeast Bahamas. That's going to do it for your first look at weather, the Morning Edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Thanks a lot, Basil. The Bahamas First Traffic Report is next with Kelsey Johnson.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Good morning, LaDon. Good morning, Bahamas. We're here on Elizabeth Avenue and Shirley Street in front of the Princess Margaret Hospital. And I can tell you that there's little to no traffic on these roads this morning. I don't know what is going on, but the motorists and the commuters, they will have an easy task this morning getting to their destination or wherever it may be. Now, one of our viewers, they were watching yesterday and they wanted to add a fun fact and their question into the fun fact. So the question for this morning is, can you make that left turn right here at this particular junction and red light by the Princess Margaret Hospital without being booked? Joining me this morning is Sergeant Jerron Thompson, who will actually answer and tell me exactly if we are in the right or if we are in the wrong and can make that left turn.
Good morning to you. Good morning, Bahamas. With respect to this intersection here, you can make a left turn on a red light, but you have to ascertain that the way is clear before making a left turn, because you have to be mindful of the traffic that is traveling south on Elizabeth Avenue.
Mm-hmm. So only this particular red light and the one at Moss Road 2 that we can make now?
There are a few other junctions. And also, if you notice in the amendments to the traffic laws, they are providing that you can make these left turns at traffic lights now, but we need persons to, we'll educate persons with partnership with our crime prevention office. We'll offer videos and what have you, indicating how and when to use, make that left turn for safety reasons. We just can't, just because the law permits you to make the left turn, you will just make that left turn. You have to ascertain the way it's clear. And we know some persons are going to try to be very creative in making a left turn, as they probably come from the long line of traffic on the right-hand side of the street drive up the middle and then cut in front of traffic and make that left turn, that is an absolute no-no. You'll find out that you'll get reported and booked.
Now, suppose a car is in front of me and I want to make that left turn. What must I do?
You have to wait. You can't overtake. You have to wait. And once you are in the front, then you are allowed to make the left turn.
If I am found in violation, what is the fine?
The fine is $250.
All right, thank you so much, Sergeant Thompson. Ladon, like he said, you can make the left turns at some junctures, but you have to proceed with caution. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks a lot, Kelsey. Now onto our top story this morning. A myriad of issues are on the agenda for the 40th Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community. Official deliberations begin this morning. Our Altavis Mannings has this preview from St. Lucia.
The official start of discussions for the 40th Conference of the Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community will begin right here this morning at the Sandals Grand St. Lucia Spa and Beach Resort on Pigeon Island in St. Lucia. This meeting comes just hours after the official opening ceremony took place last evening at the Royalton Resort. It was there that Prime Minister of St. Lucia, the Honorable Alan Chastanet, took the reins of the CARICOM chairmanship over from St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister, the Honorable Timothy Harris. Now, we can tell you that the regional leaders will discuss a myriad of issues, including crime, security, the crisis in Venezuela, as well as the implementation of the Caribbean single market and economy. The two-day meeting, which will begin this morning, Thursday morning, will end Friday afternoon. Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, is the lead minister responsible for tourism, and he's expected to give a report on tourism across the region during the two-day conference. We encourage you to stay tuned to the ZNS Television Network for the Bahamas Tonight and First at 6 for more details of the Prime Minister's attendance at the 2019 Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community meeting here in St. Lucia. Reporting from St. Lucia, along with my colleague Philip Marsh, I'm Altavis Mannings, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Alto. BPL consumers across the capital are very frustrated due to frequent power cuts, some spanning much longer than the rotation as indicated by BPL officials. Addressing the vexing issue in Parliament yesterday, BPL Minister the Honorable Desmond Bannister said while the challenges are primarily due to aging or obsolete equipment, Tuesday's island-wide outage was caused by another factor. Bannister also warned against this type of activity as he says it could have another outcome.
While we were all inconvenienced yesterday, we are thankful that power was restored as quickly as possible. However, sir, this incident could have ended up very tragically for the truck driver had his vehicle impacted that pole just inches from the actual point of impact. And accordingly, I am obliged to warn persons not to engage in this type of illegal conduct, as they could be taking their lives into their hands.
Culture and Marine Resources, the Honorable Michael Pintard filled members of the House of Assembly in on his recent trip to Rome to attend the 41st conference of the Food and Agriculture Organization. That conference was held under the theme Review on the State of Food and Agriculture. Some 192 countries were represented, and the conference with more than 108 ministers of agriculture. Pintard says a number of things were accomplished with the delegation, holding bilateral meetings with a number of countries, including Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. The Canada meeting involved the discussion on the importation of Canadian beef into the Bahamas.
The technical team in Paris several weeks ago agreed to a mission by Bahamian veterinarians to review their SPS system. And at this meeting in Rome, we got a political commitment to advance that project in the shortest possible time. We also discussed a mission from the Canadian government, inclusive of business persons visiting the Bahamas, looking at the possibility of Canadian investment in the agriculture sector in partnership with Bahamians.
One local charity is stepping up to assist with some of the growing pains residents in the inner city communities are faced with. The We Life Foundation has joined hands with the Fusion Superplex to host a major event, Stamp Out Hunger.
The idea for this foundation was really birthed through a vision that came from God. I always tell persons that it was just something that was innate, something that I always believed in. So being a giving and a loving person, instead of always looking around and feeling sorrowful for persons, I decided that we're going to do something about it.
Fusion Suplex is all about family empowerment, and the We Life Foundation is about family empowerment. So us together right now is about giving back to the community, and that's what Fusion is all about.
Close, we've got more news right after this. You're watching The Morning Edition.
I watch the morning show to keep up with the flow of traffic and to watch the weather.
Welcome back to The Morning Edition. Today, the United States of America celebrates its 243rd birthday, which means many are on holiday and gearing up for possibly barbecues. And while many festivities will be taking place, officials from the United States Embassy celebrate early, marking the accomplishments of its nation. Let's hear from our Jimenita Swain.
Besides the Star-Spangled Banner, the American 4th of July celebrations conjure thoughts of picnics, parades, barbecues, fireworks, and fun. This was especially demonstrated during the United States 4th of July festivities held ahead of the actual holiday at Albany for the first time here in New Providence. The red, white, and blue of the American flag was featured prominently in the evening's decor, as diplomats and staff of the U.S. Embassy came together for a night of celebration. America will mark its 243rd birthday today, July 4th. Back on July 4th, 1776, the United States proclaimed its independence from England when it signed the Declaration of Independence. Now, the historians say the declaration itself was not completed until August. July 4th was observed as its official anniversary. In fact, by the 1870s, some say it had become the most important secular holiday on the American calendar. Now, it was not until 1941 that Congress declared independence to be a paid holiday. Prior to that, at least back in 1870, it was an unpaid one for federal employees. Public Affairs Officer with the United States Embassy, Penny Rickamar, shares the greatest thing America has accomplished so far.
Well, I think the foundation of our country is the greatest thing we've accomplished. I mean, we did declare independence, and we built a great nation based on that declaration.
As mentioned, the embassy's celebrations took place ahead of today, but Rickamar says both the Bahamas and the United States shared a fantastic relationship. As our American counterparts enjoy their independence celebrations today, they will do so with pride, lots of hot dogs, and of course, end with fireworks. Jimenita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Shiver me timbers. Our Charles Fisher is on a pirate run this morning. Let's see what he came up with.
I see you look like you want to be a pirate, eh? Well, if you want to be a pirate, you have to act like a pirate.
It's time to get in character aboard the new sailing vessel, ideally named Blackbeards Revenge, which can hold up to 350 passengers.
Honoring the biggest legend of piracy, I said he gave honor Queen Anne, and I'm honoring him. Blackbeards Revenge, and the name itself speaks wonders, you know.
CEO Tony Enos shared his vision of bringing his dream on the high seas that started way back in 1995 and took him all around the world.
I began shopping for boats that were already built, and literally shopped the world over. Looked in Turkey, they had a couple over there, some in Italy, there was some in Sweden, one in Sweden, the UK, New Zealand, Indonesia, Australia. Had almost purchased one in St. Lucia, the Black Pearl, and one was in Honduras, and one was up in Cape Canaveral. We also was Mobile, Alabama.
Once he found the right boat, the total project from scratch took 16 months to complete and is a floating museum.
She's 140 feet long. She has 3 bars, 2 for adults, one main bar over here, and another one upstairs on top top deck level. There's another bar set up for daiquiris for the children, so the children don't have to go to the bar and mix up with the adults. So there's 3 bars, there's 10 bathrooms, 2 ADA compliant, so it's set up for the physically challenged to come on board. We have covered areas. We have upstairs, gift shop. We have a well-suited gift shop. We have a centerpiece, a captain's lounge with all antiquities. Some of the stuff go back 500-600 years.
For the ZNS News Network, I'm Charles Fisher.
Great story there, Fisher. Interestingly, this year, the juicy tasting watermelon is in abundance, and to promote local farmers, the Produce Exchange hosted a 2-day sale on the summer fruit. ZNS News cameras were rolling as we visited the R.M. Bailey Park to find out how many watermelons were purchased and how customers feel about the initiative. Like the popular Bahamian song says, watermelon is spoiling on the vine, evident by the large number of customers that rushed to the R.M. Bailey Park for 2 days this week just to purchase the mouth-watering, sweet, oval-shaped fruit. A few customers say one cash register, a small scale, and the long lines did not deter them from patronizing the wares of local farmers.
I think as Bahamians we need to learn to support our own. And so when I heard that they were locally grown by Bahamian farmers, I said, let me come and get a few. You know, it's always good to support our own. Encouragement.
Watermelons are in abundance.
Yeah, so I get 2 now. Who knows, I might get another 2 later on.
I got the WhatsApp recording last night, and when I passed this morning, it was true. So I came to purchase watermelon, and because it is a summer fruit, and it helps to keep you cool in the summer.
Assistant Manager at BAIC, Julian Johnson, attached to the Produce Exchange, explained why the summer fruit is so plentiful this time around.
We just came out of one season where we would have had pumpkins, onions, cucumbers, zucchini, sweet peppers, goat peppers. Now we're getting down into another season, and then so you'll find now a lot of watermelons are coming. So right now this is our first intake of watermelon. So basically on an average, we're looking at perhaps anywhere from 8,000 to 10,000 pounds of watermelon that comes in weekly. And basically you talk in Cat Island, Andros. For now, that's really sending us the watermelon at this time.
The succulent fruit will not only keep you cool for the summer, but can also help you feed those greedy crabs that are cooped up in a cage. While the prices of $5, $7, and $10 could not be beat, Johnson gave a hats off to Bahamians who supported local farmers with purchases.
This is basically, I guess, our first week, and it's amazing that Bahamian, the community really, I guess you got to, I mean, BPL, I don't want to put it on BPL, but we're happy that BPL, you know, with the heat and the current going off, so a lot of persons now coming and getting the watermelon because they're very refreshing and they're sweet, and again, they're local grown, and we appreciate the support from the community for our farmers.
As the country gears up to celebrate its 46th birthday on Wednesday, July 10th, we want to know what independence means to you. Sarah Kelsey Johnson took to the streets to find out. Here's her report.
When the clock strikes 12 midnight on Tuesday, loud, thunderous sounds, followed by a bright, fiery bloom, will burst through the dark night, blazing a new chapter for this small archipelago nation. The fireworks are just a small part of the birthday celebrations that will ring in another year of independence for the Bahamas. With a list of activities planned before the Big Bang, we ask, what does independence mean to you?
Independence to me is a celebration of culture, a celebration of what we are to be Bahamian, freedom fighters. It's just a feeling, a sense of euphoria that comes over you when you think of independence and you think of everything that our forefathers went through to actually get to this point.
The Bahamas became an independent nation on July 10, 1973. So Bahamians will head to the historic Clifford Park to celebrate 46 years. And like the old adage says, it's getting better with time, leaving Bahamians beaming with pride to see the progression made.
It's a proud feeling to let me know that we have come from so far, and now we are here and we can stand on our own. We're a self-reliant nation.
If you are a true Bahamian and you love your country, you should not wait for a specific time or occasion to celebrate your country. So I think it is within each of us to say that we love and appreciate our country.
As we gear up to celebrate the aquamarine, gold, and black, the colors of the Bahamian flag that represent an independent nation on Wednesday, we encourage you to show love to the country that we all call home. Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Network News.
Kelsey, now for sure, I'm wearing my red, white, and blue. Opal is wearing her red, white, and blue, and so is Tanya. What happened this morning?
As Kelsey just said, we show love to the country that we call home. So I'm in my Bahamian colors, and you also got to blame my wife, Ruth. She only washes once a week.
What's coming up in
so
school?
all my red, white, and blue clothes stays in the hamper.
What's coming up in
school? Coming up in school, in sports, the Pan Am team is named, and also 3 more Bahamians inking their name on the dotted line for minor league baseball contracts. Good morning once again. The Bahamas Olympic Committee naming 4 teams that will head down to Lima, Peru for the Pan Am Games July 26th through August 11th. Let's start first with tennis. They are Justin Roberts, Baker Newman. The coach is Deron Donaldson. From swimming, Aubrey Higgs, Lily Higgs, Laura Morley, Ariel Weech, Devante Carey, Nguyen Fernanda, Jared Fitzgerald, Gershwin Green, William Tyler Russell, Luke Kennedy Thompson is also on the team. The coach is Andy Lovett. The assistant coach is Jorge Rodriguez. The team manager is Rochelle Bastian. From athletics, Warren Frazier, Samson Colebrook, Cliff Reeses, Alonzo Russell, Jeffrey Gibson, Andre Colebrook, Donald Thomas, Jamal Wilson, Latario Colley, his brother Lathorne, O.J. Ferguson, Michael Matthew, Brian Bethel, Devin Charlton, Tania Gaither, Anthony Strong, Denisha Anderson, Patricia Seymour, Katrina Seymour. The coaches Tyrone Burrows, James Rowe, Kennard Markey, and Rudolph Ferguson. For judo, they will be led by Cynthia Raming and Sasha Ingram. The coaches Onesi Porterel Pons. As for the team executive, Diasi Raming is the chef de mission, Dawn Johnson, she's the team manager, and Oreo Wood is the sub-chef de mission.
In terms of the team selection, came from their regional body themselves. In track and field, it came from APA, the Associations of Pan American Athletes. So these athletes have earned the right to qualified through their regional bodies to participate in the games. The BOC did not select this team. They were invited by their directly by their regional counterparts. These persons were invited to the games. We are still at the BOC level confirming that, one, the athletes are available because we just got this list on the 26th. And we will, perhaps in another week or so, we will be able to confirm the athletes that can and willing to participate in the games. But thus far, these are the athletes that are invited to Pan Am Games Lima, Peru 2019.
On some good news this morning, 4 more Bahamians inking their name on the dotted line for minor league baseball contracts. 3 doing so last evening at Bahama. Everett Cooper now with the Houston Astros. Ian Lewis joining the Miami Marlins, and Doc Stouts will be suiting up for the Baltimore Orioles. Zion Bannister signing his deal with the Texas Rangers, making the number of Bahamians in the minor league pipeline to 21. We'll have much more on those signings coming up later on this evening.
And that's a wrap for us today. Make sure to join us tomorrow for more Morning Edition. And remember to watch out for your Independence Clue, where you can win a weekend stay to Comfort Suites on fabulous Paradise Island. I'm LaDon Davis. Have a fantastic day, everyone.